I kind of want to. I want to bring this into a real world example, because I saw on your website as well. You did I'm gonna. I already forgot. It's a mine in Colombia, and I don't know how to say the name. I think it's the biggest open pit mine in Latin America. Do you know the one I'm referring?
Cerrejón, I think you're talking. Yeah, Cerrejón.
Cerrejón, yes, that's right. And that was, and I kind of, can you sort of bring it in what it what it took to put a project, what the project was, obviously, but what it took to put it to implement it, and sort of even timeline on something to implement something of that scale.
Yeah. So just to set the scene on Cerrejón, it is, I think, one in the top 10 largest open cut mines in the world. And what they were having was a lot of problems with near misses, so vehicle on vehicle,
Mm.
and even vehicle on person, and then a lot of infringements on traffic management plans. And so you got stop signs. How do you make sure the compliance to people stopping at those stop signs, things like that, to make sure that it's a safe working environment. And so what we did is we went in, we assessed all the different traffic management plans that they had. We had a look at the number of vehicles. We looked at the operator training side of things as well, and what they actually implemented and what they went through. From there, we deployed our collision avoidance solution. And so that provides you the proximity detection and also the alert detection as well. So people are aware. I don't know, anyone who's been in a haul truck understands the blind spots that are around a haul truck.
Yeah,
And
there's a
so
few.
this provides that technology layer that actually highlights where other vehicles are, where other people are around in those blind spots. And so we started to implement that, and I think I can't remember the exact number of vehicles, but it was up in the high hundreds, early thousands of vehicles. And that's not just heavy vehicles, that's the excavators, the loaders, the light
Yeah.
vehicles, everything to make sure that site's safe. And one of the interesting facts that came out of that was after the 6 months of actually implementing it, deploying it, they had a 90% reduction in people driving through stop signs. And so they were able to monitor and then educate their operators on what good practices look like with that traffic management, and then that ultimately reduced their near misses significantly as well. And so overall, the site's in a much safer state. And then over and above that, they're actually now being able to be proactive and implement new road networks, new ways of looking at their fleet, because they have the data, the information coming from that collision avoidance solution. So they're moving to that more proactive decision making versus reactive training.
I guess that's something that happens when all of a sudden you have this data. I guess it even changed infrastructure wise. You sort of see a new opportunity because you've got all this data of where issues are happening. It's like you might have thought it was over at point A, but it's actually at point B, and if you widen out the road in that section, you eliminate a whole problem. I'm guessing a lot of stuff like that is happening.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, mining is quite dynamic, right? In the
Hmm.
road networks and things like that. And so as we're designing these things, obviously at that point in time, it definitely is the right thing to do. But as we track and monitor that over time, we need to make sure that we look at how can we engineer out some of these things if they are, or if they do become a problem. And I think this is just one tool to enable operations to be able to get a good data point to highlight that, no, that intersection may need tweaking. It shouldn't be a T intersection. It should be a one way, or, we need to segregate our light vehicles from our heavy vehicles because there's so much interaction happening there. So really, it just gives people that information. Instead of a gut feel, we're now actually backing that up with some facts.